Welcome to the Superfacts Show on the Superfacts Network, featuring St. Laz, who also hosts the popular web series Gem Pop, and music journalist Mark Walter Ward. They have discussions about hip-hop, culture, society, philosophy, and everything else. Now available on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts. What up, world? It's your boy Mark Walter Ward, Superfacts Show, Superfacts Network. Today we have with us a very esteemed guest to me, DJ Trackstar, who you might know from being Run the Jewels DJ. But me personally, well, I guess I did find out about you from Run the Jewels. You have an outstanding website, rapfan.com, and I love it. I love that. Well, we'll get right to it. I went there looking for, I collect shit. I got all the Run the Jewels vinyls. I've got some of your mega mixes and all that stuff. And I found your website trying to find Run the Jewels material. And I found your mix CDs. I got a few of them.
Oh shit! Right on, man.
This the Rick Rubin one. This Rick Rubin mix is just like my whole family loves it. Like seriously,
right
he was just asking me about my kids, and I got a 17-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and all three of them and my wife, we all love this.
Oh, that's dope,
the No ID one.
Sure.
And I remember it was like a 7-pack. I got all the ones that was available at the time.
Okay.
I know someone was like Run the Jewels tour mixtapes, like it was like Blade Runner, right?
Yeah. The Jewel Runner joint.
Yeah. There you go, Jewel Runner. And so anyone who's listening to this, make sure y'all check out Rap Fan. This man got outstanding merchandise, Run the Jewels exclusive. I know you don't sell the CDs anymore, but you got links. You got the smoking section mixes. And to be real with you, I don't know if you've ever heard this comparison. It might be that I have limited knowledges of DJs, but with your eclectic musical palette, the way you arrange these and put these together, it reminded me of DJ AM.
I have not heard that before, but that's obviously a crazy honor.
Well, it might be just because a lot of people don't tread in those waters, like particularly with the Rick Rubin, the different artists you work with. But like you mixed it together well instead of it being, putting those different genres together from Johnny Cash to, the Chili Peppers with Beastie Boys and all that. I feel like if you put the song in the wrong place, it could take somebody out the flow. And I feel you navigated that properly.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I definitely try to keep it as cohesive as possible. It is funny because that's like maybe the only mix I've ever done that I really use a lot of like rock shit. But I definitely want to, do some more shit like that. I definitely like mixing genres. Whenever it makes sense, for sure.
Well, see, like I said, my family, like I'm not just saying this shit for no podcast or nothing. Like they really loved that one. So like I probably listened to it more than any of the other ones. You know what I mean?
Oh, right on, man. Yeah. Dude, I mean, thank you so much, for copping and just support in general, dude. Definitely appreciate it.
Well, I mean, like the beautiful thing about a mix like that, like I ain't trying to harp on it, but like, all three of my kids went and listened to different music that they had never listened to before, because, it's a mix. You don't got the whole songs, and then they might want to hear more from the people.
Yeah.
And, so I got my son listening to like Beastie Boys.
That's really dope to hear.
Oh yeah. Then my at the time my daughter, my youngest was like 3, and she's listening to like old LL Cool J records. Because you can play LL Cool J singles around your kids.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I got them open to rap off that, you know what I'm saying? So shit, thank you.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. Legacy shit.
Yeah, and then like I said, anybody's watching this or listens to it, make sure y'all check out Rap Fan. The t-shirts. I mean, like so I see it's kind of like turned into like a whole clothing line, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it started off just as merch on tour. And then after the first tour where I started doing it, when I was at home, I was like, well, I still got shirts, let me make a little website. And yeah, it just grew from there. I mean, at the start, it was just one design, one shirt. And yeah, it's just grown from there. And especially when I'm off tour, I try to work on it a bunch and get, new designs and new products up there. And, it's a lot more I want to do with it for sure. But I'm definitely thankful for all the support I've gotten.
Are you involved in the design of the shirts?
So I've designed a couple of them myself. I mean, I definitely, give artistic direction on, pretty much all of them on some level or another. But my man Tech Supreme here in St. Louis made the original Rap Fan design, which I don't think I really did anything on that. I think he just sent it to me and I said, that's a go. But Ian Clare did a bunch of stuff that, like the RTJ DJ one with the zombie hands DJing. Like that was my wife's idea. Like that was her concept. And I brought it to Ian, and he made it, incredible. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun working on all different levels of it. A little bit of the designing and a little bit of the, suggestions, and then just executing the
the one, I think it was CD. It might have been tapes, but I'm pretty sure it was CD covers, right? Like stacked sideways so you could read the titles.
Oh, it was vinyl. Yeah. It's the joint called The Collector. I did that one.
So you picked, yeah. See.
Yeah. I like those were my records. I took the photo. I did the Photoshop and filtered it the way I wanted to look and all. So yeah, but glad you highlighted that one, because yeah, that's like the main one that I did. That I'm like, I did that.
Yeah, like I don't wore it out now, but I had one at the time, and I remember like whenever I went to a music event, it would cause conversation. Like I always felt that like whoever designed these young, like I was like whoever is doing these got like a passion, and like hearing you talk about it, I can like did you start it off as something to just to capitalize on your work, and it became like, did you think you'd have this level of enthusiasm, I guess would be the right word for it?
I mean, not really. Like a lot of my career's kind of gone like that, where I don't really look too far ahead. Like I don't really set crazy goals. Like I do tasks. I do what's in front of me. I do what like makes sense. I look at the landscape in front of me, what direction to go. But I'm never like, yo, in 5 years, I'm trying to do this and work toward, what I'm saying? I just like work with what comes to me. So, I mean, at the time it was the first Killer Mike LP tour. And, at that time we were playing small venues. And so the money wasn't crazy at that point on that tour for any of us. Certainly not me as the DJ.
Right.
So I was like, man, I'm out here away from my lady. I need to come back with some money. Figure out something I can do. I was just like, let me make some shirts. And at the time, especially at the time, but I mean even now, I was like, who's gonna care about a shirt that says Trackstar on it? Like, I'm not Killer Mike. I'm not LP. I'm not like the star here. So I just wanted to come up with something a little more universal, something that and something that I knew I would still like in 5 years, instead of like doing something like stylish of the moment. And then 5 years from now, I'm looking back like, what was I? Why would I do that?
Shit, they be selling them Jones on the old ones, on the ones you probably don't got no more. They be selling them on eBay for like $150, $300.
Yeah, I try to keep an eBay alert on for Run the Jewels stuff and rap fan stuff. So it's fun to see what pops up.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some resale value on that.
Yeah.
Take no name on listening. I'm telling y'all, rap fan is a come up.
That's right. It's investment. It's a new Dogecoin.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just went from there, and it was just literally at first it was just one shirt on that tour, and then I think the next tour I had 2 shirts or something like that, and I started doing the hat, and it just took off from there. It's been a cool ride.
And you said them vinyls was your vinyls, and you got started St. Louis in '99, so you must have been a little bit before like people was really DJing off the computer like that. So you've been copping records for a minute, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I started buying and collecting a little bit in in the mid '90s, or like I guess towards the late '90s, just as a fan, just because I was getting into DJing and production just as a fan. I wasn't even really doing it, but I was like, oh, let me I'm supposed to have vinyl if I'm into this, so I started going to buying hip-hop records, but also going to garage sales and stuff, and secondhand stores, and copping whatever I could find.
See, that's what I was gonna ask you. How was that in St. Louis in the '90s, looking for rap vinyls? Was like I'm from the DC area, and that would have been pretty hard. Like record stores, or I mean, I guess there wasn't even record stores at that point, but like music stores weren't really carrying vinyls.
Yeah,
maybe singles a little bit. Like you remember, like I don't know if y'all had Waxy Maxis, but like that was kind of like Sam Goody, FYE. Yeah, well, I mean, it was just like like a chain corporate record store. Like I know like about like a FYE or whatever. And it was just like that, and like they still had like the little vinyl singles every now and then, but by the mid '90s they didn't really have no vinyl in the record store.
Yeah, well, and so before '99, I was actually in Madison, Wisconsin, so it was even lighter there than it was
I can imagine
for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, like I mean, I was heavy on the UCD store. Like I was buying hella CDs, but yeah, vinyl wise, I like. There was more places than I knew about, but it was funny. Like at that time, like when I really got into hip hop, I didn't realize that there was as much going on in Madison as it was. Like, it felt to me like it was just like, oh, just me and my friends know about this, you know?
Right.
Which was way off. But you
Well,
know,
people didn't wear it on their sleeve like that back then
yeah,
either, though,
you know, I was 14 or whatever, and you know, I mean, it's Madison, Wisconsin, you know.
Right.
So yeah, it was funny because later looking back, I was like, oh snap, that record store was there. That was right by my house. That was, you know, oh, this event was going on. Like,
because it's a big college town, right?
yeah, it's a big college town, and like, you know, like later I realized like there was concerts like 10 blocks from my house that, you know, I wasn't at when I was 11, I wasn't into it like that. But there was like De La Tribe and Souls of Mischief, like 10 blocks from my house in like 1993 or something like that. And I'm like, fuck, I wish I knew. I mean, I would have been 12 or whatever, so I couldn't have gone. But
yeah, bro, I caught some shits like that back in the day in like 95 in like North Carolina, 96, 97. You know, man, I remember I seen like this Death Row tour that it didn't have Snoop on it. It was just like Rage, Dog Pound, Nate Dogg,
oh wow,
one group's name, it was like RBM or RB or
RB,
OFTB.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like $10-15. I caught a couple of them. I saw like Junior Mafia without Biggie.
Wow.
And like Lil Kim had a set. Yeah, it was like $10-15. So man, I know about it. Like I could just imagine missing like a Tribe, Souls of Mischief and De La event. It was probably like less than 20 to get in. You know, you be around the college towns, you see them good events.
Yep.
So how'd you get from there to St. Louis?
So I went to St. Louis for college. So I went to Washington University in St. Louis, and so like when I went to visit it just to check the school out, so I'd already been in contact online. I was kind of early online hip hop shit, like relatively early, kind of, you know, searching and on the early hip hop websites and message boards and stuff. And I'd met this dude who was actually the hip hop director at Wash U. Over email before I even went there. So when I went there, I went straight to the radio station and met with my dude Derek Teslick, DJ Buck Wheaton, and man, I walked into that room and it was like, I mean, you know, I got my vinyl stacks back there, but it was like that times like 40. It was just like a whole basement filled with records. And I was like, at that, like instantly, I was like, okay, I need to be a part of this. What do I got to do? So like literally, that's why I started DJing. Like I wasn't DJing before that. But in order to have access to all those records, I had to have a radio show. If I had a radio show, I'd have the code to the door. I could come in any time of night and listen to records and go through records and borrow records and record them. So I was like, all right, that's no brainer, you know, sign me up for a show so I can come get all this music.
Shit, I feel you.
And obviously it ended up, you know, changing my life. You know, I mean, even just at first getting promo records through the radio station where it's like, oh, you know, they sent us 4 copies of this, you know, 2 to put in the stacks and then 2 to give to the, you know, to the hip hop DJs. Like, yo, I get a free copy of a record. What kind of world is this? You know, it was like,
I feel you. I still got that level of enthusiasm. That's like something I try not to lose. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I mean, that's the whole rap fan shit. Like, that's like the most important thing is still being a fan. I'm still in awe that I'm around Killer Mike and LP, you know, I'm still in awe at all the, you know, I've gotten to meet so many of my heroes and stuff. And even as a 40-year-old grown ass man, I'm still like, what the fuck, for real? You know, like
word.
It's crazy. It's crazy, you know?
So how'd you get involved with them and like, which one led you to the group?
So, this is like the best story of my life. I love getting to tell it.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So, you know, right now my radio show is called The Smoking Section on Shea 45, but there was a website called The Smoking Section that started in, I think, like 04, 05.
And I got the best of Killer Mike, right?
Right. So
that was like one of the that was one. Yeah, that is a great fucking CD.
Right on, man.
What is that online?
Yeah. It's on. It should be on my SoundCloud. I think it's on my SoundCloud
with the red cover, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Man, that shit is so fantastic. That's like
man,
when Killer Mike was undervalued. Yeah, like anything. Yeah. Man, I love Killer Mike. I got like everything, vinyl, CD, and that was like one of my go-tos. And if I was trying to convert anybody to the Church of Killer Mike, I let them hear that Smoking Section. Make sure that shit was
that's amazing. Brother. That's like literally exactly why I made it, was for people to hopefully do that. So thank you. That, you know, that's incredible. But yeah, so I got down with the Smoking Section like 06 or something like that, and then they posted the song "That's Life" off Pledge One. And, you know, I'd heard Mike before, obviously, Adidas and the
Right.
whole world and all that. And I'd heard Monster, but for whatever reason, that's not where I was at when I heard it. So I wasn't like, I was like, oh, this is dope, but I wasn't like
Me
going
too,
crazy.
actually.
Yeah. So then I heard That's Life though. And just off that one song, I was like, oh shit, why didn't anyone tell me Killer Mike is like the greatest rapper on earth? Like, this is the dopest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I
So
had
I
that
got,
moment too. That's crazy.
yeah. So I got super, you know, super into it. Pledge One, obviously, I was playing that in the clubs here in St. Louis. You know, that was like his most underground point. Like that CD still is, people don't know about it. But I was playing it like the shit was number one hits, you know, like I was playing What the Business Is, like it was like the T.I. song of the day. You know, I was playing it like at prime time in the club, you know, people dancing and shit. And so I was just super into it. And then one day I was sitting in my apartment and Mike did an interview. I don't remember if it was in a website, like if it was online or in like a magazine or something. I wish I could. But at the end of it, he was like, I don't have fans, I have supporters. You know, they can reach out to me at myspace.com/grindtimeofficial or this phone number. And he put a phone number in it. And I'm assuming it's, you know, going to be one of these, you know, you've reached Killer Mike, you know, leave me your email address and we'll add you to the list and keep you in the know of what's going on with
Right.
Grind Time, or, you know, something like that. But being the fan and the nerd I am, I wanted to hear the voicemail, you know what I'm saying? And just
Right.
see what it
I can
was.
dig it. Man, who knows if we might have had a snippet of a song you ain't heard before.
Right. I mean, you know, who knows? Yeah, literally, I was like, I have no idea what this is, but I'm just stoned in my apartment at, you know, 2:00 on a Tuesday or whatever. So I pull out my phone, I dial it. Someone answers it, hello? I said, can I speak to Mike? And he goes, this is Mike. And I was like, what the fuck? And he, you know, he just picked up the phone, just random number, random St. Louis number calling. He just answered the phone. And that's the kind of guy he, you know, is to this day, where, you know, he'll give anyone the time of day. He'll speak. He'll, you know, he's just that kind of guy. Like, he'll embrace anybody right off the rip.
So you got involved with Grind Time?
Yeah. So, you know, I had to think, because I'm like, all of a sudden on the phone with my favorite rapper.
Right.
I had no plan. I wasn't expecting to talk to a person, you know?
Right.
So I'm just telling him, you know, everything I just said just now, like, you know, yo, I'm playing your stuff in, you know, in clubs and supporting you as much as I can. And you're the greatest. And I want, you know, I was like, just thinking quick. I was like, you know, I want people to know how dope you are. So we should make a best of mixtape. I'll mix it. You host it. And then we can use that because more people need to hear you. And he never heard of me. I mean, you know, I was especially nobody then, you know, I was just in St. Louis, but sight unseen, he was just like, you know, I guess he could just hear that I was sincere about what I was saying, because I was, and passionate. And he was just like, all right, bet, let's do it. And, you know, like it took a little while to get it, you know, politicked and get everything together. But like a year later, we dropped it. And, you know, it went well. People liked it. And like a couple months later, A3C happened in Atlanta. It's a hip hop conference in Atlanta every year. And so I went there and Mike was doing a signing at Criminal Records. And I, you know, so I went to the signing. I just wanted to meet him, give him a copy of the CD, get a flick. Life made, you know, that made my life, you know, like that's all I needed.
Right.
So I go there, you know, give him the CD. Great to meet you. Take the picture. And I said, yo, I'm here all weekend. If you need anything, let me know. You know, I'm around. You know, I'd be happy to help with whatever you need. And I'm thinking, you know, if you got a studio session, you need me to go pick up some food or, you know, like go pick up some Swishers or, you know, whatever. You know, I'm on some intern shit in my head.
Right.
And he said, what are you doing tomorrow night? And I said, nothing. And he said, I'm opening up for Rakim. Do you want to DJ for me?
So damn.
And I'm just like, what is happening right now? You know? So of course I said, yeah, we did that. We did a couple more shows here and there, but at the time I was in St. Louis, and I moved right after that to San Diego and then LA. And so like another year later at South by, kind of the same thing happened. I just bumped into him randomly at South by in Austin. And I was like, yo, I'm around all weekend. If you need anything, let me know. And even then, I like I said, I'm not super like goal oriented. I'm just like play the hand I'm dealt. So even then, even though we'd done shows or whatever, I still wasn't expecting to like be DJing for him a whole bunch. He's Killer Mike. He's got a DJ, right? You know?
Word.
And for whatever reason, he needed a DJ. So he's like, what are you doing tomorrow? And I said, nothing. He said, I got 4 shows. Let's go. And we did 4 shows the next day. And at the end of the last one, he was just like, give it up for my new tour DJ, Trackstar. And I'm just like, he didn't tell me he was doing that. It's like, oh shit. Like, I wish, this was like 09, I think. So like there was camera phones, but it wasn't like now where every moment of everything is recorded.
Right.
So like I wish there was footage of that moment as far as I know.
More like that Kanye West Chain and Day footage, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like that would be amazing.
Word. Now, yeah, that's why wouldn't you want to capture a moment like that?
Yeah, so I wish there was footage. I keep hoping someone's just gonna pop up, since he's getting more famous. I'm hoping someone's like,
you never know.
Oh shit, let me post this footage of this show at the Whiskey Pig or whatever. I forget what the spot was even called. Either way, so I became his tour DJ. Later that year or the next year, I think I moved to Atlanta just because being on the other side of the country wasn't really conducive to getting to do shows. So then I moved to Atlanta, and my timing was just crazy because I moved to Atlanta like later in the year after Pledge 3. And then so we toured for that for a little bit, but then rap music dropped the next May. And excuse me. So from rap music on, we've just been going, like we linked with L, and from the LP, from the moment we linked with L till now, it's just been like nonstop. It's been crazy. It's been amazing.
And that was from like a hurricane relief album or like a cancer cure album, the first song they did together?
No, so L's album, so the way they got together was this dude, Jason DeMarco from Adult Swim. He runs the music at Adult Swim. Amazing dude. He's known L for
whoever runs the music at Adult Swim, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got incredible taste. He's the coolest. So he'd worked with L for a while. He loved Mike. They'd done a little bit of stuff together, I think, and he was just like, Mike, I want to do your next album. So look, we don't have much money for you, but we'll promote it and you can do whatever you want. Like no creative, like I want you to make your album that you want to make that you couldn't make, with a major label deal or whatever.
Right.
And so he was like, I want to get you in with all these different producers, LP, Flying Lotus, all these other guys. And L was the first one. So they sat down, they had the first session, and they were just supposed to do like 1 or 2 songs. And they had the first session and they just fell in love. They just became best friends like instantly, Obviously their story's very much out there, but they were born a month apart. They got really similar. Obviously they're very different, but they also got a lot of similarities.
How familiar were you with LP's music? Because like I ain't gonna lie, I'd seen his production credit a few times, but I wasn't too hip to him as an artist.
Oh yeah, no, I was listening to Company Flow in high school, so
I never heard of that.
Yeah, and through the 2000s, like I was DJing in clubs a lot, so I was a little bit less in tune with some of the underground stuff that was going on. But I always respect, he's amazing. He's always been amazing. So I wasn't like as up on it at that point as I had been, initially. But I remember the exact moment. Me and Mike were walking through this venue in Atlanta called Sound Table, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm about to do this next album with this white boy from New York." And I was like, "Oh, word? What's his name?" And he said LP. And I remember I put my hand on Mike's shoulder, and I like tried to like stop him, but he's a lot bigger than me, so he didn't really stop. But I put my hand. I was just like, "Yo, do you know what the fuck you just said?" I'm like, LP, like he's when he said this white dude from Brooklyn, I was just I just thought it was gonna be some random dude that had popped up,
right?
Not like the white dude from Brooklyn,
right? Like some unknown Arab music when he first came out.
Yeah, someone who's dope, but hadn't gotten out. It's just someone. But he said LP, and I was just like, what the fuck? Because my mind was just blown. I was like, first of all, I never would have put you guys in the same room. Just like everyone else in the world, when they first heard about it, they're like, where did this come from? And yeah, it's just been amazing. And L is one of the most incredible artists on the planet, producing and rapping. He's such an amazing dude, just such a good dude. So yeah, I'm really lucky to have spent most of the last 9 years with 2 incredible artists that I look up to, as artists and just as men. They're just both amazing dudes. I feel like interviews, I always just end up just talking about how cool Mike and LP are the whole time.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about Now I'm Run the Jewel stuff. Since we leaned into it for a minute, I got like, which one do you like the best? Not them personally, the album.
I was gonna say, there's no way in the world you can.
Yeah,
I can't pick from
who have
amongst
you
my
got mad
children,
at the most, and what's the thing that you find most annoying? Nah, yeah, no shit like that.
Yeah.
But like I personally, I'm probably partial to two.
Yeah, I
Although
mean,
I really like Meow the Jewels. Like
yeah,
that shit is unexpectedly good. Like you know that little new state, you know the NBA playoffs. They got the State Farm, the surprisingly great campaign, and that Meow the Jewels was like surprisingly great.
Yeah, there's definitely some bangers on there.
The little
It's hard to
Snoop
pick.
verse was vicious.
It's hard to pick a favorite. It's hard to pick a favorite album because
All right, so which one have you listened to the most?
I mean, lately four. You know, because the thing is, once we start touring them, I hear them every night. So like, I don't always go back to listen as often.
So technically, you probably would have heard one the most then.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
But that don't mean, I got you.
But I mean, they all, you know, every time I think I've got a favorite, then I think about it some more, and I'm like, oh wait, but what about three? Oh shit, but what about two? Ah, but one is so raw. But four is just like a masterpiece. But three is, you know, like it's hard to it's hard to pick. It's hard to separate them from the experiences too, you know.
I mean, it's amazing today that you know any artist can make an album that you listen to more than 5 times, let alone 4 in a row.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't it doesn't happen too often. And that was kind of always their goal at the beginning, was like, to be a real rap group, we need to make 4 classic albums, you know, and like we've accomplished that. So, you know, now it's like on to bigger and better things, and you know, but that was always a goal, was doing the 4 album run like EPMD. So yeah, I mean, it's a blessing to be up close to it, because the thing about Run the Jewels is, and I say this all the time, I know 100% if I wasn't involved, Run the Jewels would still be my favorite shit in the world. You know, like
I can dig it.
There's just no way that they wouldn't, you know, that it wouldn't still be my favorite group.
I mean, yeah, shit goes hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, and I was a huge fan of both of them before I met either of them, or before the group existed. So, you know, yeah, it's amazing to have gotten to watch it all up close and to be a part of it.
Do you watch Joe Rogan show?
So it's funny. I'd never watched it before Mike's episode, and then after watching Mike's episode, obviously just through, you know, it was 3 hours, and getting to hear him pick at Mike's brain, you know, made me more interested. So I definitely watched a bunch of Rogan for a while. A little bit less lately since he got off YouTube, especially. But yeah, you know, it's
he frequently talk about working out to Run the Jewels.
Yeah. It's been so cool to see, you know, the just all the people that respond to it, even at the beginning, but especially now that we're like so big. Now it's almost like, I mean, it's always surprising when someone famous or whatever, you know, likes it, but it's like not as surprising. It's like, oh, I can see that, you know.
Yeah, true. Being around the MMA fighters, if nothing else, I know some of them had to be
MMA fighters. Yep. And like, I mean, Anthony Jeselnik is one of my favorite comics. He, you know, he's a fan. I've seen him rocking the shirts and seen him, you know, say they're, you know, we're one of his favorite groups or whatever. So, you know, it's all sorts of stuff like that. You know, just seeing sometimes people just show up backstage at the show, like, oh shit, he's here, you know, like, oh, fucking Johnny Depp's here.
Damn. Like, that happened?
You know, yeah, that happened, you know, and there's just.
Did you interact with him? Did he have rings on and shit?
Yeah. I got to meet him briefly. I got a quick photo.
Did he have like mad rings on and shit, or that's just?
Yeah. He was very accessorized. I don't remember rings specifically.
He looked like he'd be wearing like on some Steven Tyler type shit, just the active version.
Yeah. I could see that parallel. But yeah, you know,
that's wild, bro.
Yeah, it's just all sorts of people, and you know, I mean, even obviously just within rap, like one of the cool things is Mike and Al both having 20-year careers at this point. They've just got so many connections and friends in the game, and you know, so much respect from so many people that, yeah, it's, you know, you just never know who's gonna. I mean, Diddy threw a birthday party for Mike last month, you know, like,
damn.
Yeah, you know, it's wild. You know, I've gotten to meet like most of my heroes through this shit, which is great. You know, I'm from Wisconsin, man. I'm just a fan. So yeah,
I can dig it. I remember like when I first started meeting people, it used to be geek, and some shit still geeks me out. Like I remember I met Fife right before he passed RIP, and like I was kind of like seasoned at the point, but that shit. I met Fife and Sway on the same day actually, and that was
wow.
That shit was like vicious to me. Like I still like, every now and then I still get that I can't believe moments, and I'm sure
Yeah,
being Run the Jewels DJ.
there
But
is so many
you
of them.
oh, I can't imagine. The last thing about that though, I'm curious. I know you done did all them tours and stuff. Like what's a concert that stands out? Because like you must have seen like 60,000 people before and that type shit.
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny.
Stuff a lot of rap DJs don't see.
Yeah, no, I mean it's unbelievable. And again, I never planned on, I never had some goal where it was like, yo, I'm a work and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna get in with some big artist and end up touring. And I never imagined touring before I started doing it. Like it wasn't even part of the plan.
Shit, one of the hit songs, your song, right, bro? The where the old men be fighting. That's a Trackstar song, right?
Oh, the close your the Nobody Speak. No, it's Shadow, which is like Shadow is. I mean,
you got a song this Run the Jewels, though, right?
No, I mean I've done scratches on a bunch, but
okay.
No,
I
yeah,
know I've seen your name on the real releases, not just on mix CDs.
Yeah. I've done scratches on every album, at least a couple joints on every album.
And you never intended to be a DJ. That's crazy.
Yeah, like that was, I mean, obviously once I started, I took it serious, but yeah, that wasn't like
clearly.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like I've got homies who are like, when I was 7 and I saw Herbie Hancock, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I'm just like, I almost feel bad. I'm like, damn, I didn't know I wanted to do it till I was doing it, like,
so you ain't here like Nightmare on My Street and want to go be Jazzy Jeff.
Well, it's funny because that was actually like the first rap record that I was like super, like that I knew all the words to and all that. And so, I mean, I definitely like loved the scratching. And I thought Jeff was amazing.
Oh yeah, the Transformer scratch and all that.
So much but at the time I didn't understand scratching. So I just thought it sounded cool. But then later, like 15 years later, or whatever,
could you elaborate? Like, what do you mean about like you didn't understand? So like, what understanding have you come to? Because I'm not very well versed in the art of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I'd hear first of all, I didn't know the breaks he was playing. Like on like the Live at Union Square joint or whatever, and they're rapping over different breaks. I didn't even understand the fact that he was going back and forth on 2 turntables with 2 different versions of the same record and cutting them back and forth. And I just thought it sounded crazy, like nothing I've ever heard before, and all that. And then later, as I educated myself on all the original samples and breaks and all that, I started realizing, like I'd hear a record and I'd be like, wait, that was from Fresh Prince. And then I'd hear a sample that Jeff used to cut and be like, oh wait, the first time I heard that was, he's the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Right.
So, and then getting to where I actually understood some of the DJ techniques, realizing like the dope shit that Jeff had done back then. And especially when it's, 15 years later, I'm like, that shit is still dope.
like I might be it might be some old head shit, but like I feel like the Primo cuts proved it. I feel like scratching is way underutilized. Like I wish there was more scratching and more keyboards, and I wish we go back to the days where there was a Rastafarian hook on every album, a reggae jump.
Well, we got one for you on RTJ4. We got more fire.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. They bring back. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so cliche to say it sounds old but new, but like it really do. It got all the elements, but it's fresh and updated.
Well, and
that sounds so cliche to say, but like it's real though.
No, it's exactly when El started working on the beats. Like because it starts with his beats. Like he goes away and he works on stuff until he's got like a framework of a sound he wants to go for, kind of, and then him and Mike kind of get together and start bouncing ideas and start shaping this. It's a long process, but when El first kind of like had it going, like felt like he had an idea, he came to us and he was just like, I think this shit is going to be some like classic hip-hop shit but updated. But he said it, it's going to be kind of like a little more traditional elements like of but it doesn't sound old at all.
Right.
Like, at all. You can't listen to any of those songs and be like, oh, this sounds like XYZ from the 80s or 90s. But it's just got a little bit more of that that influence, which they're both huge 80s hip hop heads, that's what they came up on. And obviously the 90s for, all 3 of us means a lot.
Again, what'd you think when you heard that Gangsta Boo verse the first time?
On Love Again?
I think, yeah.
From RTJ2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild, I mean, it was what I expected when they said they got Boo on there.
That shit was monstrous, though.
Yeah, no, she's amazing, man. She's so cool. Is you know, it's really cool to have gotten to know her real well and get to hang out with, you know, Gangsta Boo, which certainly if you went back to Wisconsin in 1998 and said, "Hey, Gabe, do you think you'll ever hang out with Gangsta Boo?" I'd be
No
like, yeah,
bullshit.
probably not. Probably not.
You saw Choices and all that shit?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Long
that must
time
be
ago. Long
unfathomable
time
to
ago.
you in
But
Wisconsin watching Choices, being like, "Yeah, you're gonna be touring, Gangsta
yeah.
Booga." Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I mean,
Like, man,
that's
salute, bro.
always been
That's
kind of, yeah, thanks, man. That's always kind of been one of my pet lines is like, and I was saying this before any of the touring stuff, but even like, you know, when I first, because I did a Royce the 5'9" mixtape, you know, and he was my favorite rapper in the world for a long time. He's still obviously one of my favorite rappers. But you know, like when I started, you know, getting to know him or whatever, you know, I'd just be like, man, go tell 16-year-old Gabe or whatever, you know, oh, you're gonna know this dude, and it's just like he would never believe it, you
so you had
know.
like the Bad Meets Evil jump.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
You know,
See,
or
like when I
you
started
go
meeting, I
back,
met like Beanie Siegel and people like that. I'd be geeked the fuck out. Like, damn,
yeah,
bro. I was watching
dude,
State Property like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
dude, still, I can't, you know, yeah, I can't, I can't believe any of the experiences I've got to have through this shit, for real.
So is it true that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life? Because clearly you love what you do.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, that's I've been saying for like 15 years. I'm like, I don't deserve to have like hobbies or free time because
Shit,
like
you
my
indulge, you do
working
so much shit.
is a hobby that, you know, for most people and what people do in their free time, you know. So it's like I never, like, especially in my early days DJing, like I didn't take a break. I didn't do anything else. Like, why would I do anything else with my time? Like, everything is focused on this because A, it's what I want to do anyway. B, it's becoming fruitful. Like I'm able to accomplish things, and um, even when I wasn't making very much money, or certainly wasn't making a living, you know, coming up in St. Louis, when I still had to have a job and all that, like, even if I didn't ever make it to where I'm at now, I wouldn't regret any of that because I was doing what I wanted to do, you know. And that's
Right.
the advice I always give people. I'm like, do what you want to do because you don't know if you're going to be successful or not. You don't even know if you're going to have control over whether you're successful or not, because so much of life is coincidences and luck and relationships and based on, I mean,
Where you're
literally,
at this day or that day.
yeah, I mean, literally, if the story I just told, if that day at South by Southwest he had a DJ that he was using for those shows, you probably wouldn't be interviewing me today because you never would have heard of me, because I never would have been Run the Jewels DJ, because I never would have been Killer Mike's DJ, like,
Word.
where just that one day could have thrown this all out the window. So, there's so much luck to it. And I know, I mean, I worked hard, and, I'm somewhat talented. I think all my DJ friends are more talented than I am, but I know that the main aspect that's gotten me where I am is just timing and energy, and like knowing that I was putting my passion into it. And I think that's why I got paid back by the universe, in that way. But again, it all just hinges on what happens on any given day. So,
The
I'm
whims of
always
the
a proponent of
universe
just
and whatnot.
I'm always a proponent of just like do what makes you happy, do what you want to do. Don't try to strategize the game, or because like you could spend all your time trying to do metrics and figure all that shit out and still lose. And then you wasted all your time trying to like, stretch, trying to do some shit that's not you.
Or even the thing that you're gonna win at comes along and all the preparation you did was for something else, and that's kind of
Right.
wasted.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like I would have no regrets no matter what happened, because I loved every minute of what I was doing, in the local scene in St. Louis, all the different things I tried, I did a lot of gigs that, maybe I didn't need to have taken, or I did, but I learned something every time, and they all conspired to take me on a path to where I'm at today, So I'm thankful for all of it. I'm thankful for every shitty gig I did with 10 people there where I got way underpaid and someone spilled a drink on my cables, or, like
Right.
all of that,
Cuff the record or some shit.
yeah,
So, but
it
before
all
Run the
contributed.
Jewels with the grind, were you ever involved with like Pill or SL Jones or anybody?
I did a couple shows with Pill and Jones, kind of like, but that was all like once I was already like, yeah, like with Mike, like if they were doing a show with Mike. Actually, one of the first shows I did with Mike, Pill was there too. and I think Lil B performed on that stage too. But and then SL Jones is now Cuz Lightyear, so he's been like he's still part of everything, which again speaks to these guys. Like Mike and L both keep people around that have been around them for 15, 20 years, which shows you what kind of dudes they are, both that they keep people around like that and that people stick around like that.
They want to be. Yeah, a lot of people end up not wanting to be in people's orbits, like the asshole people. Notice they have like a circle that like refreshes itself every 3-4 years.
No, they're both very loyal dudes, and they're both they're just good guys, man. It's good to be around them. You learn stuff, you gain experiences, and
You ever heard SL Jones' Colors album?
Oh, dude, of course. I mean, Sags and Flags.
Well, a lot of people. I mean, I guess who the fuck am I asking? But like a lot of people, man, like I mean, I don't want to be too controversial with it, but would you say it's a true statement that he kind of bodied Eclipse dude on a track? Because I thought he kind of like had the better verse on the song, like by far.
Which song is it? It's been a minute since I've heard the album, so I'm trying to remember.
Oh man, anybody who's watching this or hearing this, if you can hear it, look up SL Jones Colors. I don't know how available it is. I had to get on like some underground rap website, but man, I ain't heard it in a minute neither. But I remember distinctly there was a song with the clips on it, either one or both of them, and it sampled Jay-Z on the hook. And I just remember that like SL had like the best verse, and I was like, damn, he kind of had.
I don't doubt it, man. He's incredible.
Yeah. I thought like Pill and or Cuz Lightyear now, I think they still have a lot left to offer if they ever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and Cuz definitely does, and he was so young when Mike was first fucking with him that he's still a young dude. Like he's,
Yeah, I mean, you can tell from the videos he had to be a youth at first.
Yeah, when he did Sags and Flags, he was like 16 or some shit, which is crazy because that record is incredible.
So, again, everybody make sure y'all go check out Rap Fan, and we gonna wind up with this. But how did you choose the mix? Like what made you like I could tell like No ID, like some of that was like you wanted to convey to people like, man, look at this man's resume, because like I ain't gonna lie, some of that stuff I didn't realize. And then the Rick Rubin I was aware of, but I don't think I'd ever like actually thought of it until it was put together like that. And then I'm really curious about the Camp Low. Like the 80 blocks from Tiffany, the Camp Low, they must have been involved in making this with you, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so all the other ones are kind of the same story, which is like exactly what you said. Like, I want people to know about this. Like, this is underappreciated. Like the best stubs I've done. So what? It's Mike, Royce, Joe Budden, Organized Noise, No ID, and then the Rubin. Like the Rubin one came about because when Jay did what was the album Rubin?
The Black Album.
Was it? No, it was later. I think it was Magna Carta that Rick Rubin like executive produced or something.
Oh yeah.
But there was like a commercial, and Rick Rubin was like laying on a couch in the commercial.
Yeah.
And I was just seeing mad tweets of people being like, "Who's the dude on the couch?" And I was like, "Oh man, this is annoying. People don't know who Rick Rubin is. Let me do something about this." So like,
man, wow.
Like that one I threw together like real fast, which came full circle because we recorded part of RTJ4 at Rick Rubin's studio, which was wild. I got to I got to like leave copies of that CD in the studio, meet Rick, and
damn, that's vicious, bro. Damn, that's what's up.
I mean, again, like it's preposterous the things I've gotten to do. But so the Camp
platinum artist that ain't met no Rick Rubin, so that's what's good.
No, I mean, and it's crazy because they told me they're like, yeah, he's not going to be like at the studio every day, so don't expect to, it's in the studio, but he's not going to be just sitting in on the sessions. He's not producing the record. But the first time I pulled up to meet the guys there, I happened to just accidentally pull up right behind Rick, so I got to meet him like right when I got there.
What was he driving?
Something fancy, because I remember pulling, because I pulled in an Uber, and the car we pulled in behind, I'm like, God, like I'm not a big car guy. So I forget what it was, but it was something you don't see,
Right. Like yeah, that's not the regular when you see it.
That's not a regular person.
I'm like that too, bro. I could probably like identify like a Lamborghini, a Porsche. Man, I wouldn't know what the fuck a Bugatti was if I did wake up in it. You know what I mean?
And yeah, so we we pulled in, and I'm just like, oh, this must be some artist coming to record or something. And as I'm like grabbing my bags out of the car, I look up and see Rick get out of the car, and I'm like, oh shit.
Damn.
I'm like, I just want to drop my bags and run up and like hug him or something, you know. But yeah, so that was crazy. But so the Camp Low one,
did y'all say what's up to it? Like, what was the intro?
yeah, so I mean, I didn't want to press or anything, so like, and he was kind of ahead of me, so I let him go in. I wasn't trying to, you know, run up on him. Obviously, he was going to be in the same building, so and yeah, once I got settled or whatever, I came out and he was just sitting at a picnic table with like Mike and Elle and Mike's wife and shit. I'm just like, let me just go sit at this picnic table,
Yeah.
see what happens. And yeah, so you know, when they took pictures, I was like, could I get one too, please?
Shit,
you know, I try to never be too scary to ask for photos, because those photos are like, you know, just
like 10 years later, you'll wish you had it. Like,
yeah.
damn, I met Rick Rubin that one time, and you'll see somebody that's like lame got a picture with him.
Yeah, but so the Camp Low mix though was the only one that's like a different story, which is another crazy story. And again, it all comes from being in the right place at the right time and being like active and being like sincere, you know. So like I'm in San Francisco. Me and my wife were out there for Rock the Bells, I think 2008 or something like that. And then we went to some DJ night or some after party or something. And as we're leaving, there's a dude at the door who's handing out flyers. He's like, yo, Camp Low show next week. You should come through. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. You know, I love Camp Low. And he was like, oh, word, I DJ for him. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. You know, like, especially back then, I didn't know a lot of like real rappers, you know?
Right.
So I was like, I thought that was incredible. I mean, I still would think it was cool. And I was just like, oh, what's your name? Mark DeVita. We were talking. And we just like stayed in touch. And I don't remember exactly how it came about, but basically he was like, yo, you know, they're about to do this album with Pete Rock. We want to do a promotional mixtape. You know, you and I should do it together. And I was like, hell yeah. So, you know, we started formulating it or whatever. And at the time, and then by the time we were doing it, I'd moved to LA. And so, you know, the concept was going to be, I was going to put a bunch of Camp Low acapellas over Pete Rock instrumentals, you know, just off existing shit.
Right.
But we were like, you know what, it really set it off is if they did some like original, like freestyles over Pete Rock beats.
Gotcha.
So I think for all of them, but we mostly just like took like, you know, the Pete Rock albums would always have like little interlude beats, like 20 seconds at the end of the song, like a different beat would play just for a minute.
Mecca and the Soul Brother and all that.
Yeah, man. So I looped up a bunch of those. So they'd be like Pete Rock beats, but not really, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And it was amazing. My boy Grilla in LA has a studio out there, and Geechee and Sonny, Jesus Christ. Geechee and Sonny came and met me there, and they recorded four, maybe six. I'm tripping. They recorded a bunch of joints, and you know, I mean, it was just crazy. Like me and Grilla were sitting at the board, just like, bro, we're recording Camp Low right now. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like exclusive shit for my project. Like, so yes, that one was really, you know, that was just one of those moments where I'm like, yo, even if it's a small part, like I'm a part of like some real rap history right now. Like I'm in Camp Low's discography, you know? I
mean, yeah, I mean, the project's amazing. Like I highly recommend anybody listen to it. And that's on. Where can they find it online? Because like I got the hard copy. Like I still listen to CDs with my old ass.
So I'm pretty positive it's on my SoundCloud. I always forget because SoundCloud sometimes takes mixes down. So I'm pretty sure that's still up there on SoundCloud. Yeah, it is. And I think I still do have like a few CD copies, not the original, like full. Like the one you've got is like the repress joint and like the sleeve.
Plastic, yeah.
But that was the other cool thing is like they pressed up real CDs, like, you know, the full jewel case, which I never had anything in a real jewel case before. You know, my shit had always been slimline or sleeves or whatever.
But I do have expensive as fucking Europe. I know Europe like Camp Low like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. I should send some some stores out there.
Shit, just go on Discogs, bro. Discogs.com. They'll them Dipset, Wu-Tang, Camp mad at that shit got like a crazy resale value.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
So you're a big Pete Rock fan, I take it then, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
man, you know who got an album coming out with Pete Rock?
Who's that?
Yuck Mouth. He announced it on my show like
really?
three months ago. Yeah, I can't wait to hear
wild.
that.
That's wild.
Did you hear the Smoke DZA jump with Pete Rock?
Yeah. That was crazy.
I liked it. I felt like it didn't get enough attention.
I agree. I mean, it definitely got attention on my radio show. but like something like that is like right up my alley for the show for sure. So yeah, I was hyped when the Diz of Pete Rock.
Shit, I need to cop a serious. Like I guess I'm missing out. It's too much different shit to listen to though. You know, like you can't listen to
Oh
everything.
man, dude, I know, and I mean that's one of the things that drives me nuts about the show is like, I mean, obviously I'd be listening to a lot of the new releases anyway, just as a fan. But it's like sometimes I spend so much time listening to music just for the show. And I'm like, yo, when do I get to listen to the music just because I feel like listening to some music? You
So
know,
like you
sometimes you
don't get
get
to
like that when
revisit
you're
old
always
records
working on
enough.
shit. Yeah, it's like,
Sometimes you want to listen to some old Twister or something, right?
yeah, and I got to budget my time like, yo, okay, I want to listen to this, but shit, the show, I got to do the show in 2 days. I got to make sure, like all the albums that come out that I know might have material for the show, I try to listen to the whole album.
Word.
Whatever it is that I feel like listening to at the moment. I gotta listen. Yeah. But yeah, that's every Friday night on Shade 45. I wish I could put them up streaming, but obviously they want people listening to the radio.
Right.
I do have a USB on the site on rapfan.com where if you buy that, it comes with a bunch of the old episodes on the USB. But yeah, they won't let me put them up on SoundCloud. People are always asking for SoundCloud links and shit. I wish I could. My hands are tied.
Shit, I had one of those USBs that had a lot of those mixes. If you got another one, I need to get that. I need to get that because like
Right
I'm always worried. Like I know the Killer Mike Jones on Dat Piff. I know some of them is on Dat Piff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we definitely need to save those for posterity. Is still up.
Yeah. Every once in a while I go on Dat Piff just to find like old St. Louis shit for my homies just to download it because it's like I'm a hoarder. Like I got like trillions of hard drives and I keep I download everything and all that.
Me too,
but
brother.
I'm always like what if the internet went down tomorrow? Like
right.
I can't not have access to some of this shit, which is why I've got 25 hard drives that are all a mess that every day I'm like,
bro, I still got like CDs
today. Yeah.
Like the mixtapes, like because there was some cats that had the mixtapes that never made it to the internet, never made it in no retail store.
Yep.
Like
sure.
I got like 8 Memphis Bleak Jones, so like Get Low records. that ain't been on nothing, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, but shit, brother. Man, I love it. I love that you get to live your passion. I love hearing stuff like that. I love the enthusiasm and just, man, good for you.
Thank you, man. I'm very, very, very lucky. I don't get how I get to do it, but I'm gonna keep doing it till they tell me to stop.
Well, I mean, part of being lucky is being prepared when opportunity comes your way.
That's what I say because people are like, yo, how can I get to where you're at? And I'm like, well, first of all, just try really hard and be passionate, but you just got wait for lightning to strike and don't fuck it up. Like that's like my biggest advice is don't fuck it up. Like I think I'm a good DJ and all that, but my best skill is not fucking it up. I don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't make it Rick Rubin annoyed at you.
Yeah. I think I do a pretty good job of not ruining the opportunities I do come across,
Man, that's very wise advice. Very wise advice. Yeah, don't fuck up your opportunities. I know I done fucked up some opportunities. That's for damn sure.
I mean, I definitely fucked some up, which is how I, learned not to do it anymore.
No doubt. I mean, that's like the perfect place to end it on. And
right on.
Man, thank you so much. Like I really enjoyed this one. I love hearing shit like that.
Absolutely,
Rick Rubin's just fantastic.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it for sure.
And what's your social medias?
Yeah, so it's Trackstar the DJ on Instagram, DJ Trackstar on Twitter. I know that's annoying and stupid, but that's just kind of where I ended up. It confuses everybody. Trackstar the DJ on SoundCloud. If you just search Trackstar the DJ or Rap Fan on Facebook, and then it's Rap Fan on Instagram and Twitter. I have just Rap Fan. And then rapfan.com. I mean, I got djtrackstar.com too, which has more just like the straight my DJ career stuff, but Rap Fan for the merch and all that. And Friday nights on Shade 45, 10 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 2 hours of underground rap shit that I sort through, so you don't have to. So you just get the good shit. It's me and my homie James Biko, who used to be known as DJ Needles out here in St. Louis. He's a St. Louis legend. He's one of the dudes I like came up DJing, watching. So I brought him onto the show like 6 months ago. So it's been a real honor to have him be a part of it because he's incredible. He's just one of those dudes that like when I was barely a DJ. I was watching him just in awe, you know, like I'm definitely the guy that would go to the club or the hip hop night and then just kind of stand near the DJ booth so I could watch and, you know, I was always about the music more than the party, you know?
Gotcha.
Like I would never go to a bar that didn't have good music. Like, why would I ever? I'm not going to just a regular bar. Like, if they're not a dope DJ, why would I leave the house? You know?
Shit, I can dig it. That's words to live by.
Right.
Well, shit, man. Thank you for your time, and
absolutely.
I'd like to, you know, touch base again down the road, especially if you start releasing some more of these mixes.
For sure. Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking to my boy. I want to get back into doing more mixtapes, but doing the radio show, especially before I brought Biko on, it was like I'm doing 2 hours mixes every week. I'm doing a mixtape every week, you know, like it's hard to like in between times do a whole project, but I need to get back on it, man. Cause that's what I came up off of. That's where my passion was. That's what before on the Jewels, that's what people knew me for. You know, I wasn't a heavy radio guy. I was in the clubs in St. Louis, but mixtapes is where I made my name. So, you know, I definitely never want to abandon that fully.
Gotcha. Well, shit, I'm looking forward to it. And again, thank you for your time, and man, you have a good night.
Absolutely, man. Much love.
All right, man. Take it light.
Yeah.
Peace.
The Superfast Network, home of Jump Pop, SDE, and the Superfast Show, now available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts from. Come check out St. Laz, G from the Shop, and Mark Waldo Ward.